Hi, this is Crimson. In this video, I'll be teaching you tips and tricks to make your Zenonia 5 journey much more easier. Do check out the video's description to find various parts of the videos to make it easier navigating through it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 1. Death penalty. In Zenonia 5, every time you die, you're required to pay a penalty in form of gold, experience and equipment durability. However, this can be completely negated by just simply closing the game and reopening it. However, I must mention that the point you will respawn is based on where you last saved. For example, if you don't save often, you will be only put in the place that you were way long before, which means you should save as often as possible and make sure that you save in the corners and not in the middle of the map, which makes you vulnerable to all the enemies. Alright, so that is point number one. Let's move to two is using the bank. In Zenonia 5, you have the special feature called a bank. So what you go is you go to your status, go to your inventory, and open the bank. You have 7 slots in here, and you can store various items in this. You can both send your equipment. For example, I'm sending this to bank, and I can retrieve this to myself. It is not just the normal use of bank. However, you can also move one item from one character to the completely different one. This way, you can use the equipment that you got for one character to another one. For example, I got this armor to a paladin character. Now I'm moving it to the berserker, so now he can use it. This is especially useful when you are having 2-3 characters or you're playing your second playthrough, so you can move your equipment from one character to the another. So let's get on to the third one, which is dodging. Dodging is very simple. However, it is a newly added kind of aspect in Zenonia 5, which is basically every time an enemy attacks, they have an internal cooldown within themselves. Let me just get some space and use this guy. So every time he attacks, he just stands still. You see, even this guy. So during this time, I can just completely stand right next to them and not get damaged. This is a really important skill that you want to learn while playing Zenonia 5 to have a much more easier time. Almost 90% of the enemies in this game follow this, with a few one or two exceptions, which I will only be facing later in the game. So that's not a problem. So let's move on to the next one, which is selling items. You will have a lot of garbage or useless items in this game which you want to sell. So this can be either discarded by either just pressing break, which doesn't give you anything. Otherwise, what you can do is you can simply go to the item merchant, go to your inventory, and just sell it instead. It will confirm on how much you will be getting. So I'll be getting 2600 gold for this item. So by selling this, I'm gaining gold. So this way you can use your useless or disregarded old items to get more gold for buying new stuff. So next one is Invisibility Frames, or simply known as iframes, which is simply while using certain spells, even though I'm right near enemy's attack, I won't get damaged. For example, let me remove one of these guys. Okay, so while the ball hits me, I do get damage. However, if I use certain skills like this hammer or this thrust, I don't get damage despite being right in front of the enemy's attack. This is because when you use these spells, you kind of get a small duration of being not being able to be damaged. This is especially useful when fighting enemies, and this really makes some characters really strong. And it's a really good quality of life change for the game. So let's move on to the next one, which is stats. Here we have the basic status bar. I'll explain to you what each one is. HP is your HP pool, how much life you have. SP is consumed while using skills. Experience is how much experience you have, to which is required to level up to the next one. Then you have attack. Attack is the damage that you deal. Defense is how much damage you reduce when being attacked. Hit is how likely you will hit the opponent. This is not necessary aspect that you need to worry about. And you have evasion, which is how likely you will evade enemy's attack. Then you have crit, which shows the critical chance of making a critical strike. Crit damage is how much bonus your critical hits will do. Then you have the 4 stats, which is strength, dexterity, condition, and int. Strength is mainly for paladin and berserker classes. Dex is mainly for mechanic. Con is more of the defense stat for our characters. It increases HP and defense. Int is for the wizard. I will go further into this in my other class specific guides, which will be on top of my channel. So let's move on to the next one, which is class selection. You see, when you start the game, you will have 4 options: wizard, paladin, mechanic, and berserker. Out of these 4, I personally think paladin is the strongest class in the game, followed by the wizard, then the mechanic, then finally berserker. Despite being seen as a beginner-friendly class, berserker is honestly quite the toughest one to play. So I personally recommend playing paladin or wizard. Wizard does more damage than paladin, but has very little health and will more likely die if you don't play well enough. Paladin is both good in defense and attack, and is quite overall the strongest character in the game. So let's now move on to the intermediate aspects of the game, which is equipment. So there are a total of maximum of 10 different types of equipment that we'll have based on the class. First you have the weapon, which mainly gives you attack, and you have 4 sets of armor pieces which responds for defense. Then you have 4 types of accessories, each giving one main extra bonus. And we have different kind of rarities. For example, first you have as common, which is this colorless. Then the rare, which is yellow. Then you have uncommon, I think, so after common you have rare, then you have uncommon, then you have rare, then you have epic, then you have unique gear like this orange, then you have legendary, which is red. Based on rarity, the bonus that you get from items also increase. And mainly what 2 equipments that you need to focus on while leveling up is the weapon, which you need to change every 10 levels. So you upgrade to them. It can be easily found in the merchant. Let me just go to the starting place so you can find where the merchant is easier. In all the 3 places there will be merchant available, and it will sell various parts of your equipment based on the class. So I recommend buying a new weapon every 10 levels, so you can increase your damage. So for me, I'm really high level, so I'm only having level 19 weapon available for me. For beginners, you will be having based on your levels and around 10 levels higher. So you buy your weapon every 10 levels. And second equipment you want to focus on is the cloak. You can find it here in this. So cloak gives you a maximum HP, which makes sure you don't die faster. I personally recommend only going to the equipment merchant and not going to the knock merchant. This guy is extremely expensive. You see, it charges around 110,000, and I only have 739,000. It's like I can only buy 7 times from him, and I don't even know which rarity it is. So don't prevent buying from this guy, and just simply go to the equipment merchant to get your gear. And next one is crafting. This is specific to the blacksmith. You just go to smithy and you go to combine. You need a scroll to make the equipment, and once you press the scroll, this or the recipe, it will show the equipment that can be made and the requirements right below it. This is very rarely used, and pretty much the only place you will need require is in the Magic City Lucas, where they will send you, one of these merchants will sell you a commander set gear. So that's pretty much the only use for crafting. And let's move on to the next one, which is title. In the inventory menu, if you go to the title, these are like the extra special equipments that you can wear to get bonuses. Pretty much the best one to get is right when you start the game, you just get this winner title. How to get it is that you just open PvP, win 10 quick matches, which should be comparatively easier. Just win those 10 quick matches and you'll be getting this title. This title is so powerful, you can use it till at least level 40. After that, you gotta upgrade it to another title. Let me just show it to you where to get that title. So we go to Magic City Lucas. So go away from the town, and soon as you get there, you see these three guys called the Dark Ends. Once you defeat around 15 to 20 of those, you will be getting this new title named Enslaughterer. Slaughterer. So this gets plus 15 for all stats and is good enough to use it till like level 50 or 60. After that, you will be shifting to a very class specific title, which I will cover in my class specific guide, which will be available directly in the start of my channel. So let's move to the next one, which is Fairy. Fairy is kind of a special gear or equipment per se. So what they give is they have give a chance for attacks to apply any sound or special elements. So there are different elements. There is just show it to you. There is holy, frost, dark, and fire. Out of this, I personally think only frost and holy are even worth using. Others are not so good. So I recommend using any of those two. And each one of these comes with a skill skills slot, which is like around 1 to 3. Based on this, you will be able to equip how many skill stones you have. And how to get this is basically just increasing the companion bar. The more enemies you kill, the more companion bar increases. Once it reaches 100, you just extract it, and you will get this item, either a rune or a skill stone in your items inventory. That's it. It's pretty much RNG, and there isn't much you can actually do it other than just playing the game. So let's move on to the next one, which is Refinement. I'm just gonna keep it simple. This basically isn't worth the effort. So basically, you're just able to increase the stats of the items. For example, I have my weapon, which has around 1693 attack. Once I give the make option, it will start refining. There are almost around 15 upgrades for this weapon. However, increase refining has a chance of breaking the item, so it's incredibly risky. So I don't recommend using this. I just wanted to let you know. And another thing is trade. This is another kind of pay to win or Zen users aspect of the game. So you get evolution points from winning these raids. How you use evolution point is you go to the item and you evolve it. But evolution takes 25 cents, so you need a lot of Zen to begin using this actually. So I don't recommend using any of this either. So let's move to the other aspect, which is a special kind of status which will be especially useful once you reach late game, which is XP Absorb. So basically, you see this equipment of mine and you see the upgrade stone, right? You see this word HP Absorb. So basically, this is a chance I get for every time I deal damage, that damage will turn into HP. So let me try to get damaged by these guys, so I can show it to you. So I got 5000 damage. So every time I hit these enemies, I have a certain chance to heal back to full. Not full actually, based on the damage. So, but I do a lot of damage, right? So, based on that, I heal back. This is based on a really slight chance, but this can be acquired in only in yellow kind of things and some sort of special upgrade stones, which I will teach you in a second. This goes both for HP and SP observe. The easiest SP observe you can get is getting the title name cool user. Just play the game and get it automatically. Once you equip it, every time you hit the enemy, you have a chance to heal some of your SP. So basically, once you are higher level, you can infinitely heal for. You can infinitely use skill without worrying about running out of SP or using potions. So that is it. Let me talk about another very important aspect which will be useful for beating the final boss, which is upgrade stones. Upgrade stones are basically acquired by combining two of your items to make one of these upgrade stones. So let me show it to you. Once you select equipment, you see in the right bottom corner you have this upgrade stone tab. So basically these are special stats that you can put into an item, and there are specific slots given to it. And based on the item's luck per se, you will get how many slots you have. In these slots, you can put any of these upgrade stones. So in order to get an upgrade stone, what you gotta do is just take any random two equipment, go to the sky, make upgrade stones, choose any of them. So right now I am equipping all of this, so I cannot show it to you, but it's incredibly simple. You choose any of them, you choose two items and you make press make. Once you do it, you will be getting one of these upgrade stones. And once you get the upgrade stone, you simply just, for example, I have this upgrade stone which increases my defense by 152. I have this equipment which has an upgrade stone and it has one slot, right? So I just press use and just put it inside it. That's all. So now this item, once I keep this item, apart from the SP it gives, it also gives a bonus 152 defense. You cannot remove the upgrade stone other than just by deleting it, and even deleting it goes sent. So be wary of what you want to equip your equipments with. This is mainly useful when you're up to the final level where you'll have a lot of special gears which you can use to make upgrade stones. So put it in your gear equipment that you are using. So that's for a upgrade stone. So let me go to the next another late game very important aspect, which is the abyss. So abyss is this kind of infinite fighting level where you have each floors. In each floors, a set number of monsters will spawn. All of these are randomized. You can enter the abyss every 1 hour, and you can fight monsters. The every floor has different levels, so there are like infinite number of floors. Each floor has a chance of drop. Each floor enemy, when killed, has a chance of dropping equipment. For example, I have this dawn ring, right? So I just get this dawn ring. So once I finish the abyss, I'll be having it. You should try to go as much far as you can into the abyss to get the highest level equipment. So this dawn ring is probably level 15, but once I get to floor 30, 31, and I will leave a description to the video, to my abyss video in here. You can see how much equipment will be getting for finishing this. So you will have a timer which will increase every time you finish a floor. I'll just skip to the part and show the equipment right now. So I just finished this abyss. So I got one equipment. You can also get multiple equipments the higher floor you go. I think you should just check out the video if you want to know what kind of thing you can get. So I got this ring called Dawn Ring, and you can see the stats here. The minimum level you get will be epic, and these items are extremely powerful. It's kind of like a must-have once you get to the late game. And for example, you can see almost all of my equipment except the shield and boot, almost all of my equipment been farmed in the abyss. These are extremely strong and quite must have for completing the game, which it will make your journey extreme very easy. So that is pretty much it. Do ask your questions in the comment section below, and do leave a like if you find this helpful, so that other Zenonia 5 fans can get to watch the video. And see you soon. Bye.